Hello and welcome to review number 11. This time I'm taking a look at three different figures, viewfinder, spectro and spyglass, collectively known as Refraktor. Kremzeek's here also. Interestingly, Hasbro counts this little guy as his own figure, as the package may be called a free pack, but it also says contains 4 figures. I picked this setup because personally I'm not a fan of army builders. I don't like buying more of the same toy. I never picked up the toon-coloured Refraktor as I knew only having one would annoy me, as unlike most army builders he is specifically a trio. But then they revealed the toy-coloured versions, and it ticked all my boxes. Different colours, extra bits to make it look like a better camera, and a bonus Kremzeek. Right, here we go. This lot comes with 14 accessories according to the instructions, and they are a flash cube or a flash launcher, shutter release or shutter armour, telephoto lens or 3 telephoto shields, a camera stand or a shutter blaster, lens laser, and optic blaster. Yes, apparently they are different. A camera stand connector or bioscale compression rotor plus 2 memory cards. Viewfinder lens, no high-tech name for this one. And last but not least, Kremzeek. This free pack comes packaged in alt mode, so that's where I'm going to start. Out of the box, the stand is detached, so I will quickly add that. And it is amazing how well this imitates an actual camera with just 3 extra pieces. Well, technically 4. This turns from a block with a lens to something I could see working as an actual camera. There is a combat peg up top for Kremzeek to stand on, and I placed the extra memory card on the back to use as a dial of some sort. And while we're back here, the back doesn't look nearly as good, with just 2 chests hanging out. Something to be careful of is the paint on the feet here, as they chip quite easily with this bit brushing over them. Another thing is plastic stress, as this thing is a little heavy for the port it's resting on, and it left stress marks after the first transformation. And finally, more of a personal gripe is that it says Refraktor instead of Reflector, like his original name, because something trademarks. The camera can rotate on the stand. In this mode, Viewfinder gets the Viewfinder, Spectro gets the Shutter Release / Shutter Armour, and Spyglass gets the Flash. For Viewfinder and Spectro, the accessory can only really go in one place, the shoulders for Viewfinder and the arms for Spectro. However, Spyglass has options. The Flash can be placed on his shoulder or held in his hand for a light gun thingy, as well as the lens splitting apart, giving each of them a shield. Which I only have one issue with: no combat pegs. You can't slap any blast effects on these things, so they're just decoration. Looking at head sculpts, we can see that both Viewfinder and Spyglass's heads are basically identical. They both have blue heads, silver faces with red eyes. However, Spyglass's head is cast in grey and painted blue, whereas Viewfinder's is cast in blue. This makes Spyglass's head a tiny bit bigger, and it rubs against the chest during transformation, causing paint chipping. Spectro has the main difference, with his head being cast in black with a silver face and red eyes. Height-wise, these guys are 13 cm tall, or around standard deluxe height. For comparison, Earthrise Megatron, Earthrise Prime, Decepticon Mirage, Earthrise Thundercracker, Siege Thundercracker, and Cliffjumper. Port-wise, these guys have 15, a large amount for a deluxe figure. A minor note is due to the memory card storage on the back, the usual place for the flight stand port is taken. However, they get around this by putting a port on each side, however they are a little small. The camera accessories do limit articulation quite a bit, so I'll remove them for this but then go over what they limit after. Shoulders move out with 360-degree rotation, arm rotation, double jointed elbows, backwards butterfly joint on the shoulder, head can look up, down a bit and all around, waist rotation that snaps in place in the forward and backward positions. Legs can do the full splits in both directions with thigh rotation, 90-degree knees, 90-degree ankle pivot and a 90-degree toe tilt. And now for what is limited. With the viewfinders on the shoulders, rotation is impeded, outward movement is decreased with anything on the shoulders, or completely nullified in the case of the shutter. And finally, the memory card on the back, rotation is hindered. Oh yeah, these guys are technically triple changes, aren't they? And here we are in vehicle mode, a mode I believe only exists so they could sell the retail version in a single pack. As for what they are bad. But also they're a spaceship thingy. I would not be surprised if they just told the designers, here's a robot, make it mildly aerodynamic. And so here's what we got. Soundwave got the same treatment, but here it's done much worse. It looks alright from the top, but not so much from the side. And the only way the cockpit could look more tacked on is if it was parts forming. The memory card is now an engine, I guess, with the shield just on top, the toes clasping the gun to make a front-mounted cannon. As for the other accessories, no, they're just not anywhere. Which also leads into my theory that this mode was only for the retail version. Even the instructions knew that this wasn't that good. It goes into so much detail in camera mode about what all the bits are, but for this mode it's just here, transform it, the end. But I suppose they make up for it with their tips on blackmail and propaganda. Overall, I love these guys, really showing what you can do to a figure just by changing a few colours and adding a few pieces. 4 out of 5 Energon cubes. Only thing keeping it back from the full 5 is the spaceship mode dragging it down, and the fact that Viewfinder says Refraktor instead of Reflector. Speaking of which... Yes, this bonus review I'm again taking a look at a Toyhax Repro label set, and this set makes these guys look even more like their toy counterparts. So let's start with Viewfinder. First off, the name on the shoulder pauldrons has been changed from the copyright-friendly Refraktor to his original name, Reflector, with a new insignia covering the old one to make it consistent with the new shoulder insignias. Details have been added to the gun, shield and legs, with a new sticker on the chest making it look exactly like his original toy. And finally, some stickers have been added to the shutter thingy. Spyglass gets an insignia on his shoulder as well, along with a new blue chest and added detail to the crotch, and some 3D stickers on the legs mimicking the leather of an old camera. The gun and shield get the same added detail as Viewfinder's ones, and the Flash now has a missile pod on the back. Spectro has the same 3D leg detail as Spyglass, along with the same details on the shield and the gun, and his new insignia, but he does have something new on the head, a forehead sticker that Pythagoras would be proud of, along with a new chest. Now onto camera mode. First off, the lens now has a beautiful mirror finish, with stickers that say Decepticon Watchdog, Made in Cybertron and Super Reflector, with some numbers which I assume is the scale of the character. On the outside of the lens there is what I believe to be the focus distance, I don't know cameras, and of course there is the previously mentioned reflector text and insignia. The 3D detail is also still present, and up top we have an on-off switch with multiple settings. 1.14, F5, that might mean something, I don't know, and SP, SG and VF for Spectro, Spyglass and Viewfinder respectively. And on the back of the Viewfinder there is now a cel-shaded green screen. Finally, ship mode. Each ship gets an insignia or just a coloured shape, shell-shaded windows, and a tiny bit of detail on the front of the ship. Overall, I am taken aback by how good this set is. I honestly only picked it up to change the Refraktor to Reflector, but I am loving everything else too. 5 out of 5 Energon cubes. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If you like what you see, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in another video.